And so we are back. Thanks for being there. Like joke.
Yes, sir, as
right?
they say.
The year is moving so fast. But not so much is happening. What's happening? You know, our expectations, dreams, targets, and what have you. How well? How far? Helen?
Are you asking
What's
me?
up? What's happening?
John, what can I say? While many have lamented that it's never been so bad in this country, some are smiling to the bank. So new businesses being birthed here and there.
Yeah.
So like they say, different strokes,
Different folks.
for different folks. But come what may, our prayer is that the family is strengthened no matter what happened, and the family keeps going, moving forward, But the fortunes of failure, well, we don't know. We can't say for sure what's happening, but we're optimistic that things will definitely get better.
Well, what I know is that today we focus on fundamentals of a prosperous family.
Sure.
And we are breaking it down. Family values and vision, what are they, and how critical are they? We shall kick off the conversation with our first guest on the program, and then bring you some messages, and thereafter take you to the Keep Fit Corner. And Ferawo Tomo, the lifestyle host, will round it off with a conversation with her guest.
Okay, so now that we have our agenda all set, let's welcome our first guest today on the show. She has quite an impressive CV. She's been one of our guests before, and we thoroughly enjoyed, her area of expertise that she brought on board. And so she's referred to as a listener. She walked into the studio and John said, here comes the listener. She's an advocate of the subconscious paradigm, always seeing the cup half full. That's like me, a hybrid motivator with an uncommon ability to stir up positive energy towards mental and emotional self-discovery. She's the creator of the Agbajo War.
I was waiting for that. Agbajo War
series. Our guest believes that all hands must at all times be on deck in raising children to be happy, healthy, successful, and functional adults of the society. Abimbola Somolu is our guest on the show this morning. She's founder and director, Bimbo Family Affairs Support Center. She's a lawyer, she's an educator, she's a writer, she's a family life advocate, and a counselor, and a lot more. Thank you, Abimbola, for accepting to come on the show again. It's been a while. How have you been?
I've been very well, thank you.
Okay.
That's very obvious. She's been very well, and you look very well too.
Thank you, John.
So, Abimbola, thanks for finding time to be with us again today. Let me jump right in, because these are difficult times for many families, particularly in Nigeria. And you see, we want to unravel, some of the issues that have been facing our families. So you do us a favor, you just shred all the questions that we're going to ask you within the time. Helen.
I take the first question.
You take the first shot.
Okay. And do remember that at the end of the show, perhaps we have lost or missed out on something critical, very important. Don't forget to, let us have them.
Okay.
All right. So my first question. We do remember that at your last visit to this program, you stressed the importance, mark my word, stress the importance of family ties. Now, could you please remind us today, for the benefit of those who probably didn't catch what it was last time that you were on the show, what are the tenets for a successful family?
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Good morning,
to our
viewers. And John and Helen, it's so good to be here. Like you said, a year ago has passed. I mean, no matter how much we look at what is happening, we're here. And that's what really matters, the now. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, if I could, I can go back to what I spoke about there. The family institution is the most important institution.
Yeah.
From there comes a lot of things. The society is built from the family. And in life, we're going to go through challenges. Life will happen to all of us. But the most important thing is the people we surround ourselves with, the support system in the home, because that's the first government of our life, basically. And once we have that, what I would call the tenets, the governing principles, the code of conduct, all those things, that what will help us.
The pillars.
The pillars in the home, to the community, then to the society. So the family ties, the family relationship, the family communication, connectivity is what gives us, emboldens us to face life and to go out there and do what we are supposed to do. So if that foundation isn't there, the father goes this way, the mother goes this way, the children goes this way. So nothing holds us together.
So it becomes things fall apart where
And
the
the
center
center cannot
hold. Yes.
So that is the main core.
And that's very deep. That's very deep. Thinking about what you just said now, you look at families that are breaking up, and you just sense, a bit of disconnection.
Yes.
And we'll talk about it a little more as we move on. I know that so much has also been said about culture. We've heard about social culture, business culture, and now we're looking at family culture. Now, when we look at family culture, values and vision, what are we talking about?
Okay. Now, I said the family is the first government.
Yes.
And if you look at all organizations, even your organization, most organizations have a vision, a mission, and core values. And if we're saying a family is a government, then we must go there. Right now, the family is under attack. There's no question about it, all over the world, not just in Nigeria. And because of that, there's a lot of child abuse, molestation, neglect, violence in the home between parents, teenage rebellion, emotional, financial stress, and so many things.
The walls are all falling down.
They're falling down. So in doing that, in knowing this, we have to start talking about it like we're doing now. And doing something about it. And that's what we're doing now, to educate people and to say, look, it's everywhere. If it's not me, it's my neighbor, it's my cousin, it's something. Okay? So what do we do about it? The first thing is we go back to the drawing board. I use the African ideology and the Western psychology. And what is that? It takes a whole village. We have to train. Because we're parents doesn't mean we have the roadmap to how our children will turn out. Let's just talk about parenting. So what do? We go back to the drawing board. Why are we as a couple? Why are we together? What do I have? What does my husband have? Okay, how do we
balance it?
Yes. Once we know the why, then we know how to go about the how. Okay? So once I know why, he knows why, we come together, we'll balance it, then we are building on that when the children start coming. So if there's nothing, because most of us just fall in love or fall out of love, and there's nothing to hold us together. So that's why I'm so passionate about the family, because when it's not me and you, it's a whole, then you're more flexible. But when it's me and you, I focus, I get angry with you, get angry with me, so there's nothing holding us together. So the family vision, why? Why are we together? What are we entering into? How are we talking about finances? charity, education, knowledge. Do you understand? The extended family. Once we have them, then the values. What are the 5 main values that hold us together? That anywhere in the world, wherever we go, like I say, I'm Nigerian by birth, African by origin, was global citizen. So those values take me to everywhere I go. It takes my husband, my children to everywhere we go.
Please
So
keep
that's
those
what.
5 values hidden somewhere for now.
No, okay.
We will tap onto them later on.
Okay.
Yeah. Hearing you talk, I'm asking myself, there's need to set these values and vision right from the start. Whose responsibility is it?
Now, that's where we get it wrong most times. Okay, because there's a fire on the mountain now, and the best time to change anything is now. Okay, so the people going into the marriages now, whether it's counselors in the church and everything, or people that actually have gone through. I'm going to be 25 years this year, so at least I have a bit of knowledge as per some things before you enter it. So we need to start to itemize and educate people that there'll be times there won't be money, there'll be times there will be sickness, there'll be times the children will be rebellious. How do we cope with that? What part of the world do we want to live in? So it's the responsibility of the couple to know what and when and what. And it's the responsibility of the parents also. If they don't have answers, get people involved to let them think beyond where they are. And look ahead, because the road is going to be bumpy.
Yeah.
It is going to be bumpy, but we get lost in all the glamour and everything. And the society has really changed on all of us.
Yeah.
So it's about the wedding, what we'll do and everything, not talking about the nitty-gritty of what the journey is. It is a journey. It's going to be bumpy. There'll be disloyalty. There won't be money at times. There'll be loss of job, health issues. These are real life issues.
Yeah.
So the earlier we start to identify that, and for those of us that have entered it, we're evolving. Okay. From a particular age to a particular, you change.
So I was talking about the signposts that will constantly have to change.
Yes.
Based on the circumstances of the time.
Yes. So we evolve. We change. I'm changing. I've changed. I'm changing. My husband is changing. So we have to identify all those things. And we have to go back to those people, the elders, the people who have done it right, the role models, that even their life is not perfect, but they're real, and say this, that. But now we're westernized. We keep things to ourselves. We don't want to engage people.
I think at this point, I'm going to ask the listener to listen to me.
Okay, please. I will listen to you.
Now, aren't we making it look so academic? Like
ABCD.
Step 1, 2, you must have these values, you must have this vision that you follow. When we make it so rigid and academic, aren't we going to lose out on the fluidity that comes with family,
With love.
Easy things, taking things not too serious all of the time. Aren't we going to lose out there?
No.
Because it's like, hey, every morning daddy now comes and says, have you brushed your teeth? Number 1, number 2, have you done? Isn't it too strict on families?
It's not strict on family. When there's fire on the mountain, what do?
But I don't see the fire.
Oh, you don't see the fire?
Yes.
Well, I see the fire. I talk to people that are in the fire.
Yes.
I feel the fire. Everywhere, with the children, with the husband, with the wife,
fire.
it's just, there's fire.
Yes.
So if they said the only constant is change, in the past 1 year, our world has changed. So what makes you think family dynamics will not change? So if we want to be real to ourselves, we're not saying these are the rules and the regulations. We're just saying be aware, be knowledgeable. Just equip yourself with knowledge and get information that will help you through the journey. When I was growing up, my parents didn't go to a parenting school. They didn't read books on parenting. They learned on the job. But right now, we can't just learn on the job. We have to equip ourselves with so many things around us. So it's not rules or regulations. Those that want the nitty-gritty can get it. But those that actually want to flow will also have to be knowledgeable, because in the flow, there will be chaos, there will be turns, there will be ups and there will be downs. So why do people in the Western world do the prenup? Why do they do that? There's a reason. Maybe probably have to start doing that in Africa because many people have been taken for granted. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that it's not stricto sensu, this is it, this is it. We're discussing it and we're making it seem like that. But depending on your character, your nature, you will need how. I never had a what's it called?
A script,
but I'm learning, I'm reading, I'm acquiring knowledge for myself to be the right example before I go out to the world. So things happen every day. You change, you're knowledgeable.
Yeah, but you see, everyday dynamics, everyday life, especially if you live in cosmopolitan city and environment. Father heads east, mother heads west to work, and no time to put all of this together. It will be a little challenging,
It won't.
on
why?
families.
It won't. Let me tell you why. Once you're intentional about something, it will work. Technology has helped us. In my home, there's a particular day and a particular time where all of us all over the world connect. See, and somebody has to, like I said the other time, has to make more of a sacrifice because everybody's busy. My children are busy, my husband is busy, I'm busy, but I'm not busy for my family because you need to pass generational things to your family so that they can pass it on. Do you understand me? Look at the Jews. They have a tradition. So if we don't imbibe a tradition where the children can even take a notch higher, then there's a problem. So I will find that time because it's important to me. So whatever is important to you, you will find time for it.
Yeah.
So for me as Abimbola, it's so important because I want to see the growth in my home, my family, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. I want to be around and see how they've put a scale higher from where I am.
Yeah.
So it is important to me.
It is.
Okay, and at this point, it brings me to a word that I murdered at the beginning of this show.
Which is?
The series that...
Agbajowo.
Agbajowo. Tell us a little bit about it.
Now, Agbajowo, like I said, I'm very prone to the African culture.
How do we key into it?
Agbajowo.
It takes the whole village. You cannot...
They say you cannot... together of hands.
Of hands. Do you understand? You cannot thumb your chest with one. You know how we Africans say, me, you can't do it one. It doesn't make sense. It's like
the broom
all
thing.
of us.
Together, collective.
Together, like the broom thing, the collectivity. Yeah. And that is why I always tell people that when people are getting to marriage, the marriage institution, the husband and the wife have to be accountable to somebody. Now, if they are not accountable to somebody, that's a red flag. If you can't talk to the man, nobody to talk to, there's a red flag. Now the woman, there's a red flag. There has to be somebody that you can go. Now, like I say, I always go to the spirituality.
Someone who can tell you, stop it there.
Yeah, stop it there. So like when Jesus was going, what did he say? He said he's going to send the Holy Spirit. So that's somebody that can help somebody. So what I'm trying, as human beings, there has to be somebody. Even if you're not a parent or you don't have your biological children, there's somebody, there are people that can be accountable to you. So it's not just marriage or my biological children or whatever. It can even be somebody that you hold in a high esteem.
Yes.
So Agbajowo means collectivity. It takes the whole village, but it has to be the right village people. Do you understand? Wow. Okay, so...
But you see, you give me a sense of... that building values and a vision for the family is a continuous thing. You have to always
tweak it.
Tweak as you go along till you get to the end.
Not necessarily. Your values are your values. They must not change.
So the values, your values are your values.
Oh no.
It's the dynamics surrounding the values that you...
Yes. And in a home, the values remain the same for everybody.
But that will be management.
Well, you see, you're looking at it as black and white.
Management, enforcement.
Management, yes.
You're looking at it as black and white.
Yes.
But when you live by a norm, there's some organizations in this country where you will know that they're from this organization.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's value, the core of that organization. And if they can't do it, then we can do it. So there has to be discipline. There has to be somebody that is engaging. There has to be accountability.
Yeah.
Now, let me give you an example. Let's use my home. In the Somolu home, maybe the vision is to be the best version of ourselves in whatever we do. And and how do we do that? So the values that we need to do. So the values have to come from people. I can say this is
therefore different families set their
they set, yes. Okay. So my own is, our vision is to be the best version of ourselves in whatever we do. So what are our values? Love. Because if you love yourself, you love others. And you'll be able to help others. Do you understand? Accountability is one of the values. Do you understand? Honesty is one of the values. Do you understand me? Integrity, be true to thyself. Do you understand? Your word is your bond is one of the values. Let me ask, maybe consistency or knowledge seeking is part of our values. That we have to continue to read, to acquire knowledge and seek knowledge. Yes. So in that, those are our guiding principles on our vision. Because those guiding principles are the ones that are the mission that take us to where we're going. So that's it.
And they're not just word in abstract. So when you have them in place, then the things that you require at every point to be able to touch and attain these values, it's a responsibility of everybody to ensure that this person is moving in that direction, and this is moving, and there's someone and people around to help each other to ensure that we all get there.
So sincerity is very important.
I can proudly say that I'm the chief operating officer in my family if I'm able to coordinate and manage all of these things very well.
Probably yes, but the interesting thing is that you might start as a chief operating officer, whilst you're grooming, as they're saying, because we do a lot of talking, but we don't do a lot of acting. So children,
I was going there. I was actually going there. So
do you understand?
What is the role if I am the proud chief operating officer? Right? Where do the children come in?
Okay.
What kind of roles can be given out to them?
So organization, your government, your family is the government. John's family is the government of his, So you are let me call you the CEO, okay?
Proudly so too.
Yes, as the head of the home. We give that to you. Okay, and your wife is the managing director. Okay, she manages it. It's you see, we cannot always, men and women, we need each other. There's no two ways about it. There's no authority or whatever. We coexist, so we need each other. We feel in for each other. So she's the one that is in the house, going to work and everything, sees everything. You go there to hunt and find something for us in the house.
And when roles swap?
It does swap. Then you have you communicate. That's another problem in most homes. There's no communication. So roles change, but when you communicate, so you shift. Everybody balances it and says, this is how we're going to do. Do you understand it? Then the children, once they have that atmosphere of this is it, they fall in line. They do fall in line because you say what you do. Do you understand? They fall in line. So it's a process. It's a journey. It's like a pregnancy. You have 9 months. So for your children, you have, let me say, maximum 13, 14 years to actually, the first 0 to 12 is parenting. There's no compromise, authoritarian, not diplomacy. Now, when they're 13 to 19, then you can be diplomatic. Do you understand it? And democracy. But from 20 upwards, so you have a time frame. If people can know they have a time frame to be parents to their children, then they won't take things for granted and faff around with things. Do you understand me? So that's the
Which is why children, when they're children, we say, allow them, they're children.
No, they're not children.
This is the only time.
No. And they are the members of the
cabinet.
Yes, they are members. So they are accountable to you.
Yes.
And guess what? You are accountable to them.
To them.
You are accountable to them, because that's why I said the role can change. So maybe in 25 years down the line, the last born might be the one that is, because you have to know each child, the qualities they have. So because of age, doesn't mean the child is mature enough, because it's the firstborn, because we put a lot of emphasis on the firstborn, the first son, the this, the that. No. What each one of them has is going to be a core in your home. So somebody there, maybe the girl, the last girl, might be the one that is managing the affairs, that calls everybody, are you okay?
Yes.
Is everybody okay? Sincerity. Let's be honest. Oh, I have to tell mom. I'm sorry, I just have to tell her so that we can get involved. So everybody plays a part. Everybody is important in the family.
Interesting. Wow. Interesting. Do you know that we're getting more than we bargained for this month?
We learn so much.
I'm learning so much.
Yes.
You know, so what we'll do now,
Take a break.
we'll take a break.
Okay.
Right? So we can have a little
Tea or coffee.
tea or coffee. And then we'll be back.
Yes.
Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
So thanks for staying with us. When we started the program, the studio, I was complaining that the studio was too cold for me.
Now it's too hot.
Do you know what?
You're on the hot seat.
Our guest today, the listener, Abimbola, or is it Bimbo?
Abimbola.
Abimbola Somolu, the listener, has broken down all those walls that we had surrounding the myths behind values and family vision. And I want to thank you so much for the great job you've been doing, Abimbola.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, now, we're going to make it a little hotter, right?
Are you sure?
We want you to tell us now.
She'll turn up the heat on you.
I don't care.
turn on the
I don't care.
He's ready.
I don't care. Because I want you to tell us, how often does one need to review family vision and values, if at all?
Okay. Well, you know, earlier on you said it seems like a chore, like something that is like I don't know how to put it, but honestly, that's not what it is. Okay, it's yes, you have to be intentional, but in reviewing, I would go back to how the dynamics of the family is. A particular family, and what we're doing here is one family at a time, really. Yeah. So it's not just one size fits all. It can't work like that. It won't work. Culture, environment, society. Yeah. So the most important thing, like I said, is the things that you do around your family that you want to start to do, like the finances, like I said, the recreation, the time for that you spend together, the family meetings. Okay, those are very important. Most of us, let me tell you what, when we were growing up, the family meeting time was during Christmas. Okay? So even though you were making it sound as if this is like a structured thing, no. The family meeting time is actually Christmas, where we all go together. You see the way your children behave or cook, or the husband, you see pressure and things like that. So when you do go on your vacation, or when the parents had the what's it called? Time out, vacation, or take leave from work. And the children come, maybe spring break, summer break, or Christmas break, which is more ideal, okay? Where we can all talk about issues, what has been affecting us. So, because many of our children they go to school, boarding house and everything. We don't even know what is going on in their lives. Yeah. They don't even know what is going on in our lives. So we have to be able to be vulnerable towards our children so that they can be vulnerable towards us. We have to let them know that there's a lot going on in my office right now. Or your mother and I, it's tough right now between us, finances and everything. Not too much information, but information is key. Because this children, this generation of the children we have, they seek information. They want to hear what you have. You can't say we're moving to Canada next week. Why? Yeah. What of my friends? So you need to explain. I'll give you an example. Okay, I watched something recently. A 9-year-old boy was on the dining table with his parents. And they were speaking to him, and the mom was trying to give him a clue that something is happening soon, this and that and that. And the boy said, what? And he said, well, you're going to be a big brother. Wow. And he said, oh, really? This and that. But he didn't really get it. What does that mean? Oh, he said, we're going to have, he said, we. That means there's connectivity in that home. We're going to have a baby. Oh, mommy. He stood up and hugged his mom, right? And said, thank you, mom. So what have you done? You've communicated to the boy. You've included him. You've engaged him. And guess what now? he's going to look forward to his brother. He's not going to hate his brother because you never told him. You just say a big, and he's wondering what is happening. You're not communicating. So you've communicated. So he's going to prepare for the brother. Do you understand me? So these are the things that we need to do. So those times are like time you are actually engaging on your family constitution or vision at that time.
Yeah.
Communication. So it doesn't have to be, this is how we're going to do it. Things will relate to things. You go to a party, you see a badly behaved child, and your child is observing and this and that. Maybe when you drive back home, you just engage the child and say, oh, whatever, because they don't want you to be direct. You'll be indirect. Okay? Unlike before, when your parents say this, that you, even the sign language.
That's it.
So we have to be knowledgeable. We have to know what is happening in the society with the children.
Yes.
Some people don't go on social media, but because of your children, you have to go on social media. You don't have to put your name. Find ways to be there to see and share. Do you understand me? So it's not stricto sensu a rigid way of engaging or checking and checking, oh, tick, did you do this today? Tick. No, that's not it.
Okay.
It's the practicality of it, the everyday thing of it. That is it.
Okay, you
basically.
practically answered my next question, because I was going to ask, how do we ensure that the family values and visions are attainable? You have answered that, haven't you?
Yes,
I think
I
so. Okay, so I'm going to another area that is a worry for me.
Okay.
You read the newspapers and you hear the news reports, and you read the gossip magazines and all of them, and the rate of problem, I would just want to use that problem. I don't want to define the level of the problem. The rate of the challenges in homes, in families, compared to 10 years ago,
Yes.
is like 150%. What's happening? What's happening? And how do we stand this move? How do we reverse it? Because this is a family show and would like to reverse it. What must we do?
Okay. Everything, like I said, is changing. So the dynamics of the family is changing. Even our sexuality is changing in the world now. Do you understand?
Yes.
You know, the even definition of family, marriage is changing. Everything is changing. So it's not a particular thing. It's how the society has become and how we've allowed it to become. Because we've allowed.
Yes.
A lot of us have allowed. We believe, well, marriages don't work, so why would I try? We don't know that you have to try.
Say that again.
Marriages don't work, so why would I try?
You must work at it.
It was work. You must
You know,
work.
that's the psychology of a lot of people now.
A lot of things is psychology. Even the social media is psychology.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was watching a program with my husband, and guess what they say? The program was, everybody should watch it. Fake famous. Fake famous. What you do to become famous.
Fake it till you make it.
Until you become.
And so that is
true.
what is happening. So the family will not be left out, okay? But why are we getting married? Why do we want a family? Because some people don't want a family. Let's allow them. Let's allow them. Nothing has to be, no, if they don't want to, maybe they don't want to be responsible for somebody. Allow them.
Yes.
Maybe they can thrive from a corner, love from a corner, love from a distance. Some people love from a distance. Do you understand me? So some people are bottled into a lot of things that the culture, the society has allowed. So how do we get back to this system? For those of us that have gone ahead,
Yes.
we have to then come back and say, okay, what is this? Why am I here? What do I want from this?
What works?
What will work for me?
Yeah.
And communication is still key.
Okay.
Do you understand me? Because we have to be able to say between two people, okay, can we work on this? Is this something we can do? It's going to be tough, but can we try to make it work? Do you understand? If we can't make it work, can we have some space? I believe in that. Can we have some space at times to just see how? Can I go for a holiday for about a month to rethink how I can manage this? Or can we go away? There's something I watched, a husband, a pastor and his wife. This was real. They had issues in their marriage. One of them, which I will not say, went haywire. and the person was caught in that.
Okay.
Or was able to admit that this is what happened. The person never knew in the wildest dream that this was going to happen. But because of that situation, they were actually meeting each other for the first time, talking about it. And for the first time in years, they actually danced together. So the pain, because we're also busy, we lose sight of the important things in life. Do you understand? So that pain made them connect that they've never had time together for a long time. That's why the person strayed.
And time just flies. And
time flies. So what is important to us? So yes, it will happen. Yes, there are issues. But what are we doing about it? What do we want to do about it? John, Helen, Bimbo, we can start with ourselves. We can start and say, this is what we want. It becomes a ripple effect. Because the people in your office, the people in your workspace, the people in your home, we see how Madam and Oga treat each other, how they engage themselves. Even when they fight, they still communicate.
Yeah.
So once we start to do that, one family at a time, it will work. So the people around us, the people we invite to parties and everything, are people that maybe share values. And even if they don't share values, they see what we're trying to do and they want to emulate it. So it's a journey. It's a long journey.
I'm sorry I've been staring at you.
No, it's okay. I mean, you can stare. I'm on a journey myself.
I've been staring at you. And
So,
the reason is this.
For real.
Yeah, the reason is this. Like, if I was going to write a book, right, I'll need a template of some sort.
Yes.
I'll need, a step by step for family values and vision. Could you give me that step by step template?
Okay. First of all, you need to buy my book.
Oh.
I'll give you a copy anyway.
Thank
For
you.
the love of family. Abimbola,
you.
Somolu.
Thank
It's
you.
on Amazon and Latinum. Okay, because it helps. It's like a guide.
Yes.
Okay. Now the step by step. Like I said, before a family starts, lives are involved, and I will throw the question back to you. Whose lives are involved before the
Both of us,
both
man
of
and
you?
wife.
Good. Now you have to understand why you are starting your life together as a couple. That is critical. That is very important. Why do you want to
together?
Why are you coming together?
Yes.
What is making you come together? And in doing that, the pain of the past will come up. Your childhood will come up. Your inadequacies will come up because you have to be sincere.
Yeah.
But most people don't do that. So when we lay everything on the table, because I tell my children that we have 3 girls, don't be in a hurry. Find yourself. Know who you are. Have your identity. Do you understand me?
Love yourself.
Love yourself. So once you love yourself, then you can receive love and be able to give love. Do you understand? So that you don't coexist with codepend on each other, because that's what is happening now. So if somebody doesn't feel that vacuum, you feel, oh, the person has disappointed you. No, fill your own vacuum. Nobody can fill your vacuum. So you go back to where you're coming from. So many people get into marriage because they didn't have a father to take care. Let's say females, they didn't have a father figure, so they want a man that will do this and do that. Some people want to run away from home. They can't cope. Do you understand me? So nobody can change the inadequacies that you have. You have to try to find that self and see somebody that can complement you and you complement in one way or the other. Once you do that, you speak raw in front of each other, which doesn't happen. Okay? And once you do that, then you can then say, this is the template. This is how many children do we want? And things like that. How many children do we want? What part of the country do we want? Are you going to support my entrepreneurial skills?
Yeah.
Are you going to support my business? Are you going to be part of this? Those are the things we need to discuss. When we discuss that, then if you want to be rigid like some of us, you start to write some things down. And that is why what did I say about the people that the prenup comes in?
Yes.
That is like going to be your prenup, because we have to be intentional. This is what we agreed on. Why is a marriage contract a contract?
True.
It's actually a contract. Why are we signing in the registry? It's a contract. Why are we saying those vows? Don't go with those vows anymore. Say your own vows.
Remind yourself of your vows as often as possible.
Abimbola Somolu.
Yes, John.
Thank you.
You see, you have touched me. You've touched my heart. And anyway, we'll come to that.
Okay.
But I want to say that
Union.
if our viewers feel the same way that I feel,
Yes.
then something has changed,
Thank you.
you know, from this discussion with you.
There's been an impact.
Yes, there's been an impact. There has been a lot that we have taken for granted as families,
We do.
as couples. And I want to thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Now, in 30 seconds,
Yes.
could you just give us your
So-
final word
Okay.
on this topic?
Life will happen to us, all of us. But our support network is the most important.
Yeah.
And the first support network that God allowed into our lives is the
The
family.
family.
I don't want to grow old and lonely. I don't want to be alone. I want to have my husband beside me. I want to have my children beside me. I want to have my grandchildren behind me. Because lonely is dark. So whatever we need to do now for the later, we just have to do it. Because family is the bedrock
everything.
of the society.
And
it's everything.
And there's no time that is late to get it right.
So make your family work. It can work. Get people that you trust involved. It's not something you can do on your own. Prayers, people, you know, professionals, family members, people that you look up to, and time to reflect that what is the essence of life.
Great. Well, Helen,
Woo!
so you take us, you wrap it up.
Absolutely.
And take us to the
Absolutely critical for the survival of the family and the society.
Yes.
Thank you. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for
All right.
inviting me.
Thank you.
Same
And
time
we will
next
invite
year.
you again.
Oh, yes.
Don't forget the book.
Oh, yes. Both of you.
Okay. Thank you.
I thought
Autograph.
Oh, yes.
Stop it.
Are we still on?
So we'll take a break
Yes, we
now.
are. So moving on to the shake up, to shake off the excess baggage, the best way that we know how on this show. It's time to join our Keep Fit instructor, after which Pharaoh Wotomo, my friend and my sweetheart on this show, John, don't be jealous, will engage her guests.
They're trying to snatch her from me.
As you know, Pharaoh brings on the heat,
Yes.
higher. So please make sure you join Pharaoh and her guests after the Keep Fit segment. It's Today with John and Helen. Thank you for being a part of our show today. Don't go away.